Hey, joining us now on the MARR Army Rock Show, we are excited to have Ralph Busso with us, calling from California. He is the lead singer of the band Ravenscroft. They've got a new record, See Through, due out on March 20th. Ralph, welcome to the show.
Thank you, brother. How are you doing today?
We are doing wonderful here, and I'm excited to talk to you about the new album. So, hey, it's your first time on our show, so for folks maybe new to Ravenscroft, can you give me maybe just a brief history of the band to this point? I know you're a veteran group.
Well, yeah, we're a veteran group, but the band's only been around for about 6 years. We started in 2014. As a matter of fact, we started in January, so the beginning of the year. And basically what happened was I was in another band called Trippin' Underground, and a buddy of mine that was a fairly new friend to me that I met on social media, Facebook to be exact, he came out to see me play with my band, and he convinced me to start a band with him. Since then, he's passed on, and his name was Frankie. And we decided his mother's maiden name was Ravenscroft, so we decided to name the band after his mother's maiden name. Yeah. And, he's no longer with us. It was an unfortunate set of circumstances. But the band has continued on, and, we actually have a guitar player that's been with us for about 3 years, Brett. Octane, and everything's working out really good. We have a really good chemistry with all the players that are in the band right now. Devin Baker, Joe Agassi is our drummer, and Devin Baker is our bass player. Brett Octane is our guitar player. So we have a real good chemistry. We write really well with each other, and we're excited to be a part of the Pavement Entertainment family now.
So give us a little peek behind the curtain at the new record, See Through, man. Where was this thing recorded, and who did you use for producer on this?
Ron Sandoval is an excellent producer, and we're really happy with him. I worked very closely with him to get this thing to sound the way I wanted it to sound. We wrote the record after we signed with Pavement, so we had to figure out exactly what we wanted to do with it. We wanted to go with a more modern approach. Something that would, be a little bit more modern in sound than the past stuff that we've done. And I feel like we hit the mark. So See Through, but it's very personal to me because I went through a time where I was actually going through some depression and anxiety, and I just kind of took a deep look into myself, and that's why See Through happened. It basically is about me looking into the mirror and dealing with my inner demons, and so that's what the record's about. And so but we came up with some stuff that we really dug. We were like, okay, this is catchy, this is more modern sounding, and we worked closely with the producer Ron, and I think we got the product we were looking for. We also did a 9 Inch Nails cover on this, which I'm a huge 9 Inch Nails fan. So
I was going to ask you about that. That was actually one of my next questions. Was what was the decision to make that tune? But I guess is it just your history with liking the band and have you been playing that song out before?
No, Trent Reznor was like really, from 9 Inch Nails. He's really probably one of my biggest influences as to why I decided to go forward with music. You know what I mean? And trying to get a band off the ground. Writing songs, stuff like that. And the first album, Pretty Hate Machine, which is Head Like a Hole, is the song that we're covering, and Pretty Hate Machine is the one that had that on there. So it was kind of perfect. And my bass player Devin Baker, he comes up to me one day at rehearsal and he goes, "Dude, I just listened to Head Like a Hole from 9 Inch Nails on the radio," and I'm like thinking, we need to cover that song. And I'm like, perfect, dude. You have no idea how perfect that is. So yeah, and it worked out, and we really got into it, and our producer was digging it, and we just gave it everything we had, and we put our own personal touch on it, and I hope Trent Reznor hears it and likes it, because it's a nod to him for sure,
Now, you alluded to this a little bit. I'd like to hear you elaborate. I've been going through the record, and I was kind of taken by the tune Anything. Man, that's kind of a dark tune when you really get... At first, I was like, okay, this is a happy... Like, no, it's not a happy tune. It's really kind of dark. Tell me a little bit more about that tune.
Well, dude, everything that I write is kind of like, it leans towards the dark side, because that's just, I grew up in the East Coast. I grew up in New York City, and Edgar Allan Poe is like a huge influence for me as well. So I tend to lean towards the dark side of things. But I try to tell a story that has, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be dark. That's just how I see life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at the world around us. It's not all rainbows. You know what I mean? Sunshine and rainbows.
Absolutely.
But we can absolutely get through it together. And I feel that it's just telling stories that I think will influence people in a positive way. You know what I mean? I think that they'll go, you know what? I'm not the only person going through this,
Yeah.
And that to me, that's the message that I want to send out there.
So, hey, it's been about a couple years now since the stand-up music video came out, but I'd be curious to hear a little bit about the making of that video, kind of a post-apocalyptic feel. Tell me a little bit about that video, like where it was made and what that was like.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of a big fan of the post-apocalyptic theme. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, you know what? And Walking Dead is a show that I love to watch, and also Sons of Anarchy was a big influence on me for this. I was like, you know what? We should kind of mix those two themes together, and. That's what we ended up doing. We set out to do it. We said let's do something where there's this whole post-apocalyptic thing going on, and there's these people that are trying to take advantage of it in a negative way, and we're just defending ourselves. You know what I mean? So that was kind of the theme.
Now, did you guys have to prep for those fight scenes a little bit, or how was the recording of those things?
We kind of went through a little, prep for it, but we just said, hey, let's just go at it and see what happens. You know what I mean? Because our budget isn't as big as some people's.
No
so
doubt.
we were like, okay, we're just gonna go for it. But I had a few ideas. I actually had a lot more ideas, but we couldn't afford to pull it off. It was just going to take too much time, and too much money to do. But I tend to lean that way. I want to bring the fans the best product that we can bring them. I know people like to be entertained, so and I get it, because I'm the same way. So I lean towards being more epic. And, you know what I mean?
I do, man. And you guys did it, and talking about it being, it's a tight budget, but you produced a lot for a tight budget with that video. So hats off to you guys for that, man. It came out really good. So
thanks, bro.
So, hey, I think, as I've been researching you guys a little bit, one song I keep really going back to is an older song that I think is just a single, but tell me a little bit about Cauldron of Deceit. I think it's one of my favorite songs from you guys.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
Really? Yeah, interesting.
Cauldron of Deceit is really, like I said, Frankie Ravenscroft was he wrote this little riff, and he sent it to me, and it was just one little piece. It wasn't like a lot. It wasn't the full song. It was just one little riff, and I went, that's so beautiful and dark, and I like it. And so I started writing lyrics to it, and then I got on my keyboard, because I play the synths, and I started adding to it. And I came up with the chorus, and I showed it to him, and he goes, "It's perfect." So we were excited about it, and I'm like, this song is basically about a person that's going through depression and is struggling with it, and is trying to set themselves free of that depression, trying to break out of it. And so that's what the song is about. And a lot of people have actually said, we've had fans come out and say, you know what, I was going through some tough times and I was actually getting suicidal, and I heard this song, and after listening to it a few times, it changed my mind. It turned me around.
Power of music, man. Man, as I've been listening to you, I do think it is my favorite tune so far from you guys. So, man, really, really well done. Hey, so not a dark note, but I'm just kind of curious. The coronavirus, man, it's hurting the industry a little bit right now. Has it had an impact on you guys? I know you have a show scheduled. How's it affecting you guys at all?
We may have to put. Look, we care about our fans. We care about people, and we're not going to put anybody in jeopardy.
Sure.
So we may have to, postpone the show until this thing blows over a little bit. I'm sure it will. I'm trying to stay positive about it. I'm, you know what I mean. I'm a fairly healthy individual, so I'm not too worried. But I do care about other people that maybe not in that same, physical health. I don't want to put anybody in harm's way.
Sure thing, man.
We may have to postpone the show. Most likely we will. We haven't made any official announcements about it, but absolutely, I don't want anybody to get sick.
Can you share and I don't know if you're the first person I've interviewed since I do interviews every week, but do you have friends it's hurting the industry, isn't it, right now?
Well, yeah, sure. Yeah, Disneyland just closed down, so that kind of tells you something. There's definitely there's Pearl Jam canceled one of their concerts. Slipknot did. There's a lot of bands that are pulling back, and they understand that, hey, this is just containment. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're just trying to get this thing contained. We don't want people to get sick. We don't want people to die. Yeah. So it is what it is. I'm not trying to put fear into anybody's head. A lot of people have recovered from this, but you never know. Why gamble?
Absolutely.
It's just like, be safe. So yeah, we'll most likely postpone that show. I figure it's going to happen anyways, but I want to be responsible. You know what I mean? To my fans.
Well, you're doing a good thing there. You're right along with a lot of the other industry, and our thoughts are just with everybody in the music industry right now, and the club scene and all, just because it's been a little tough. But so I've really enjoyed talking to you, man. This has been Ralph Busso. He's with Redlands, California band Ravenscroft. The new record is going to be released March 20th. It's called See Through, and we're going to play at least 3 tunes, maybe even 4 tonight off of. We'll play some of the new record. We'll play some classics. I'm going to play Cauldron and Deceit for people just so they can hear, because it was I got to play it now after talking so much. But man, hey, Ralph, thank you so much for being here on the Rock Show tonight. We really appreciate it.
All right, Rocky, I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate you giving us the time and the exposure.